Hello and welcome back to Retrotainment Recast. It isn't a triple threat this time. I did actually lose my title, and it's changed hands yet again since then. It is Carl King's first reign. Carl, how are you?
All good, my man. I've been whining and dining on this title. It's fantastic. Having a great time.
You must be living on the cheap side of it, wearing that shitty Raiders gear.
No, that's just that's my night dress. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I've been out kissing babies, and they're delighted there's a new change in the guard. So there you go.
The wheeling dealing.
Yeah, kiss stealing. Anyway.
And then we have our challenger for the evening, Mr. Carl Sherlock.
Howdy. I cannot lie. I am nervous here, mainly because I am doing a horror movie with the two lads from On the Slab. So
I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't quite call this a horror movie. This is just a Tim Burton movie, really.
Yeah, it'd be classed.
I know it's classed as horror, but it's a Tim Burton movie.
I think I'd be worried if we casted all horror actors to this. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I hope you didn't.
We didn't.
I'm screwed.
I don't think.
Carl, you're screwed.
That could be either of us.
As the billing went, and I put out 2 Carl enter, 1 Carl leave.
I think for this you should not call us Carl, just call us by the surnames.
Yep.
Or Sherlock and King, just so we don't get confused.
Or just so the people don't get confused, because we haven't actually seen this configuration with me not being the champ.
True. The only thing we had was a triple threat, or 2 triple threats.
Yeah, but it was me as the champ.
Yes, it was.
So, and I'm coming back for it next week. Don't worry about it.
That's what you think.
What we know is Carl will still be a champion. So
yes.
Get away.
Carl, I'll be taking on Carl.
Yes, you will.
Or I'll get the title by the 2 greatest words in the English language: default.
Default.
It's hoping not.
Right. If you didn't see last week's episode, we are of course casting Sleepy Hollow this week. Obviously being in October and whatnot. It's a very dark version of Sleepy Hollow done by Tim Burton.
Yes.
And man, this is an all-star lineup cast as well. When you look back, even some of the people we left out, Christopher Lee is in this. Jeffrey Jones, we don't actually talk about him because he's bad people.
He bad people.
Yeah, but like Casper Van Dien, who was the king of B-rated movies. And then like obviously you've got Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Christopher Walken, Michael Gambon. Do you know what I mean?
This strong lineup.
Yeah.
This would
be up there. This would be right up there as a high lineup. Like there's some top quality actors in this.
There is.
The wage bill in this.
Well, it's a Tim Burton movie, so it's not an option.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to put a lot of money into a Tim Burton movie. Unless you're Disney and you give them all the money for Alice in Wonderland.
And it was sure.
And then Dumbo. Oh
God.
Per Dumbo.
Or you go right back and you go to his version of Planet of the Apes.
Oh, don't bring that up.
Yeah.
Marky Mark.
No. You don't bring that up.
That's a touchy subject.
Jesus.
You damn
right, lads.
It's getting dark out very early. You don't want to depress the people even more, Greg. Come on.
So Ted has sent me in his picks, so I'll read them out as we're going along. If you boys want to send in the picks, and we'll get her rolling tonight.
Yeah. Sent.
Here we go.
That's to confirm if there is a draw. And the way some of these are cast, I'd imagine there might be a high possibility of a draw somewhere along the way.
Possibly.
Yeah. For the first time tonight, and first time in Retrotainment, we're going to give the champ his first start.
Woo!
He did get one of the triple threats, but that doesn't count because none of them were champs at the time.
Oh, exactly.
So we're going to start with the king here. King, we're going to start with the youngest character in this. We're going to start with young Mazbit.
Right, okay.
Mark Pickering originally.
That's him. I know you guys don't necessarily really like recasting kid roles. That's the vibe I got. But
it's not even about not liking recasting. I don't like Googling child actors.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're looking at. Well, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not get into that. But there's a couple of child actors, but I mean, I didn't do an awful lot of backups this week. I just went straight in for Ian Armitage. You know, young Sheldon.
Good
He's
show. Good show.
14. Your man was 15, so you know.
Man was 12.
Was he?
Mm,
Okay, I said
Pickering was
15.
12.
Either way.
Well, what I found was he said it was 12.
We're starting
Sherlock.
off with a draw.
Oh,
We're starting off with a draw. I went with Ian Armitage as well.
deadly.
So Ian Armitage was my pick up until
brilliant.
maybe about 3 hours ago, and he got moved down to my backup. Me and Ted actually had the same. We went with Walker Scobell here.
Yeah, I thought of Walker Scobell, but I think he's just too comedic. I've only ever seen him in two things, and he's been Ryan Reynolds in two things.
I mean, Ian Armitage is known for his comedic role in Young Sheldon.
Yeah, but he can do that though. I think.
But you can see, especially in his performances, that he can do a bit more serious. Walker Scobell has literally only played Ryan Reynolds in two movies.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, well, as I says, I had him for a while, and then I went a little more out there. But two, it's a good show. It's a good show, and as I says, Ted had the same as me, so it's
This
a draw
doesn't bode
versus a draw.
well. This doesn't bode well for me. God.
Why?
Because any time there's draws on this, I end up drawing the whole thing and losing on Champions Advantage.
Fair
nice
enough.
for me to get that. Yeah, actually, Champions Advantage.
You might actually avail of that at some stage. Sherlock has lost on that more than anybody.
Right. Okay.
Mostly to me.
5 times I've lost to Champions Advantage.
Actually, I forgot to say it just before this. Can the Sherlock snap the streak tonight?
We'll see.
Right. We're going to move on to Lady Van Tassel, Miranda Richardson here. Another nobody, really.
True. I went in with a Ted favourite here on this one. I went with Lena Headey. Or Lena Headey.
Headey? Is it?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. We know.
Game of Thrones.
The shameful one.
Yes, shame.
Shame.
I think she'd suit. She's not the biggest name in the world. I think she'd suit the role, but she's a very good actress, so I think she'd suit this role down to the ground.
Okay.
I had one backup with Nicole Kidman, but she was, it was never a definite one. I went with Kate Winslet, who I think has that, that kind of gothic thing. I think she can do that well,
It's
a person I don't think has been used before, is it?
I don't know. I don't think Kate's been used before. Maybe once. Maybe once, but I don't think very often.
So I had 3 names on this list.
Okay.
Lena Headey was a backup. I had Nicole Kidman as a backup. And I actually settled on Kristen Dunst.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kirsten Dunst would be a good shout there. Yeah. It'd be a very good shout there.
I'm not a fan of Kate Winslet for this. I'm gonna go with Lena Headey. She was the original pick that I had, and then it dawned on me. I was like, no, do you know what? I'm gonna go Kristen Dunst.
I possibly would have changed my mind there if I was the judge for Kirsten Dunst in this role. Yeah, that might have changed my mind. I think she's a great pick for that.
I always come out with a couple of good ones.
I hear you're a fan of my Carla Gugino pick in the last one.
Yeah, that was a cracking pick. I think that would have got me to change my mind on a vote.
Yeah. It is what it is.
I love Ted.
It's great when you can get those ones in.
I love Ted's description. She ungloved her hand.
Yeah.
So graphic. Right. So from a draw to a knockout punch already, he's landed a big one. Right, we're going back to the king, and we're going to the king of B-rated movies now. We're going with Casper Van Dien's Bram.
Okay. again, like this guy was
Oh,
kind
sorry,
of like,
hang on there, Carl. Just before that, I'll give you Ted's pick for that.
oh yeah,
Where is Ted's pick? Ted's pick was Isla Fisher. Don't like that.
I'm surprised you didn't go for Lena Headey.
Yeah, that's
he's
twice
probably
he's
sick
had
of
that
doing that
option.
now.
Yeah,
Twice he had it was the right option. He didn't use her.
I'm surprised.
Right. So
Brom, is
sorry
it?
for cutting across you there. Yeah, Brom.
Yeah. So again, I'm thinking in terms of it's a heavyweight cast, and the 7 that we're casting here have to be big enough. So I went as a backup. I went Robert Pattinson, which I think he'd be too big, but I went with
far too big.
Daniel Radcliffe. I went with though, who I think, I've seen him play the little sleevey little fucker, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean,
I
he plays a
did.
sleeve in little fucker in Harry Potter for 9 films
Yeah.
or something.
I did go with a Daniel, but it wasn't Radcliffe. I went with Daniel Bruhl. You'd know him from Inglourious
Oh,
Bastards. He was the Nazi in Inglourious Bastards. He was also
The Nazi in
in
Avengers.
yeah, he was in Civil War.
He was very good as the psychiatrist in that.
Yeah, but I'm still in awe of his performance from Inglourious Bastards.
He was amazing in that.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
Mm.
I think he'd do this very well. As much as Daniel Radcliffe is popular, I don't know if he's a great actor. I haven't seen.
You've argued the point before that he is a good actor.
Yeah,
against me when you used him.
That should give me a point straight away.
That's when I picked Daniel Radcliffe, but now then I'm in a clear mind. This has screwed my chances of ever using Daniel Radcliffe again. But
I don't know what you can hear. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're just frozen a bit.
Hello?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. I think Daniel Radcliffe. There hasn't been acting. There hasn't been a real acting performance that he's had that's kind of blown us away, if that makes sense.
Well, I suppose this role doesn't necessarily have to blow you away, though, does it really?
True, but
not particularly.
Again,
not particularly.
When Radcliffe is on screen, just because of who he is, he draws attention. He draws focus, and it would take, as he's not a lead, it would take the focus off the leads.
Depending on who the leads are.
Just from who he is.
Right, so Casper Van Dien was 31 in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Daniel Brühl's the best part of 45.
But he looks young.
So that's a big jump, though.
Daniel Brühl looks young, and I wouldn't. Jeez, I didn't know he was 45, but the man looks young.
And Radcliffe is 33.
Surely off the age alone, because he's the love interest of Christina Ricci at the start of this.
But the ages are all over the place in this, especially from.
Yeah, but even still, you're talking about at this minute we haven't recast Christina Ricci. She's 19 in this movie.
Yeah, but we haven't chosen 19-year-olds.
See, I'm torn now because I don't particularly like either of those picks for this. Me and Ted actually had the same pick for this. We went with a bigger name, but not a huge name. We went with Liam Hemsworth here.
Oh.
I don't know.
We have. I don't think King. You can say it here. Like, we're not saying who we have for Katrina, but like we haven't chosen a 19-year-old.
No.
You know, so like the ages are a bit skewed from what they were in the movie.
Yeah.
So like they're not completely reliant on that.
Yeah. I will give it to. I'll probably have to give it to Daniel Bob because I have Radcliffe somewhere else. Like as I had him as a backup somewhere else. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a happy one with either of those picks, to be honest.
Okay.
I definitely thought would have come a bit easier than that. Charlie Hunnam was another backup that I had.
You're going for
Went
Pretty
off
Boy, is that?
Well, that's what he is.
True. Well, if we're going for Pretty Boy, Daniel Bruhl is definitely a kind of more handsome man than Danny Radcliffe. Yeah.
You won the point. Shut up and move on.
As I says, I'm not overly a happy one with either of those. But
That's fair.
I had Radcliffe as a backup for Ichabod. There's no point me. There's any other one other male in it, so
Yeah.
it was a backup that I had for Ichabod.
That's fair.
Champ, you're in trouble.
Yeah. I kind of knew as such that would happen. So
You gotta win the rest. Well, actually, you don't have to win the rest.
No,
One
not
draw
the
and win the rest. Right. We're back to Sherlock.
Yes.
We're going with Baltus here. Is Michael Gambon, who is Christina Ricci's dad, and he looks about 900 years of age.
I went with a you favorite in this role. I went with
Michael
Gary
Shannon.
Oldman. Gary Oldman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do like Gary Oldman.
game over
You
for
do.
me.
And he's
playing the game here.
No, I think he just suits this role as well. He's at that age now that he can be the father and the older father as well, and he just brings the gravitas to it. Just like Michael Gambon brought gravitas to the role, he definitely brings it.
It's a good show. It's a good show. King?
Probably not going to win it anyway, so I went with Kenneth Branagh.
Brandon's not a bad shout.
Would be a good show, I think.
Now, I may be mixing this up, right? But when I looked up, he is the guy from Harry Potter, and he was one of the teachers in it. Now, I know him from
Yes.
other stuff.
Yeah.
He's also Hercule Poirot.
He's what? He's Poirot.
Hercule
Poirot,
Poirot
yeah.
in the movies and Murder on the Orient Express and Death in the Nile.
So, I didn't even think of Gary Oldman for this, which is a strange one because I'll try and put Gary Oldman into everything.
True, and you know he suits this role.
I do. Gary
And I
Oldman can
just
suit any role.
I
I watched
just
Gary
realised-
Oldman play. What?
I just realized here we have 3 Harry Potter actors here because replacing Michael Gambon, who's Dumbledore, we have Gary Oldman
Yeah.
and Kenneth Branagh. All Harry Potter
Harry-
guys.
It's a Harry Potter line, and I fucking hate Harry Potter.
True, but Gary Oldman's probably the best acting performance in those movies.
Gary Oldman is the best acting performance in Dracula too, but sure, look, it's
Fair.
not who I'm going to go with here though. I had
Ah.
Branagh as a backup.
Yes.
And is Oldman not a good enough pick to switch your mind?
Most things it would be, but I really like my actual pick. And believe it or not, my actual pick is a Harry Potter actor as well. I went with Ralph Fiennes.
Nice.
Nice.
I was just, you know what? I was just looking at in Bruges last night, I think it was. And he's so good in that.
Oh, he's great.
And I'm thinking I'm going to hold him for a really nasty character coming
Yeah.
up.
How old
But
who?
yeah.
Fiennes?
Yeah.
Fiennes is a great actor. I've used him a couple of times.
Yeah, he's a great one.
Do you know what? I'm actually really sad I didn't even think of Oldman for that, but I actually had thought of
But the pick isn't good enough to change your mind, no? Oldman's not good enough, no?
normally it might. Now if you had went with Will Patton, maybe. But not this time. I had Branagh as a backup.
Fair.
Exactly. He's turning out to be a better director than he is an actor.
Mm.
If you discount Artemis Fowl,
I didn't see, so I can't
good.
judge that.
Don't.
See, he obviously directed
Terrible.
that. Obviously,
He did. It's bad.
Mm.
But I think that was the bottom of my list either last year or the year before.
that bad, huh?
Oh yeah, it was torturous. I will call it the worst film Colin Farrell has ever been in.
Oh, don't know. I've seen Daredevil.
Oh, it's worse than
He
Daredevil.
was good in Daredevil, though.
He was a very good bullseye, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, lads. What I'm going to do is here, I'm going to take out Katrina here and leave Ichabod and the Horseman. I know the Horseman's only a small part.
Okay.
Just because it's theoretically a cameo role. We'll go that way. So we're going to go with Christina Ricci's Katrina Von Tassel here. And
Great.
it's back to the King.
Right. Trying to think of period actors, like, that would act in this type of thing. And I went with Anna Taylor-Joy. So she's 26 compared to Ricci, who was 19. So, but I do think she could play that very well as well.
Absolutely. Good actress.
Yeah, I was looking for an actress, who would be in a period piece and basically had the look of a Tim Burton person.
Helena Bonham Carter.
For these main roles, I was looking for someone that would, have the gothic look about them, and I did go with Anya Taylor-Joy as well.
Well, we're gonna call it a three-way draw because that's who I picked.
Yeah.
Ted had a little bit different. Ted went with Kiernan Shipka. He didn't want to go major big names, just to try and load up with different picks, that kind of way.
Yeah.
But he went with Kiernan Shipka, who was actually my backup, but his backup is Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, I think Anya Taylor-Joy is the right.
She'd be perfect for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're in for it. You're
3-4.
in for a bit of bother here, Carl, because there's the draw that the King needed.
Yep, I know. I knew it was going to happen.
Well, technically another draw here, and you still have a chance, King.
Yeah, that's it. It's tight. It's on a tight edge now.
Yeah, it's getting close. Right. So I'm gonna give you the Horseman now, the Hessian himself.
Mm.
Like, what a random role, but it's Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
it's so hard to replace Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't going to recast that, I know it's, as you say, it's a small and it's like a cameo, and he doesn't talk really in it, but like, I do think I'm interested to see where we go with this. I think that's what it was more intrigued.
This one could go anywhere.
Yeah. So
anywhere.
Let's see who's next.
It is
me,
Mr. Sherlock.
I did go for Christopher Walken there. He has especially in this movie, he kind of he's a lead as well, or he's the title character, not the title character, but he's the headless. He's the horseman.
Mm.
So it was someone that's kind of a bit of an evil look about him, which what Christopher Walken had in this, and Tim Burton. So I went to wanted someone to look kind of evil and gothic. I went with Mads Mikkelsen.
Big shout there.
Yeah,
big Mads Mikkelsen.
And he's not adverse to doing these, even though he's a big role, but it's not a lot of screen time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping
this. Writing them down there. So
I'm hoping this is gonna get this one from me. Hopefully.
Well, by that statement, I take it that the King hasn't got Mads Mikkelsen, so this won't be the draw that could kill Sherlock.
No, I'm not. I went for like that, an actor kind of similar in, what would you say, approach to Walken. I went with Willem Dafoe. I think he could, again, it's a small role, but you could see him play that role so well.
The only thing I'll say with Willem Dafoe is when he's on screen, you want his facial expressions constantly,
and that could be brought into that for him, or you can see it as well with the way the backstory when they're showing you
Yeah.
how we became the Horsemen. So
The only thing I will say for that point there, Carl, is Christopher Walken didn't play the Horseman when it was without his head.
Okay, well, it's a character.
I know. But that's
Yeah.
Oh, he couldn't have made this any more difficult, lads, because I had both of them as a backup.
no way.
Oh, really?
I actually thought I nailed the pick then. Actually, I had another one as a backup as well. I had Crispin Glover.
Crispin
Jesus
Glover.
Christ.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah. Very similar kind of facial to
Walken, yeah.
Walken. But I went with someone who's renownedly mental for some of the roles that he takes. I went with Nicolas Cage.
He was my backup, actually. You can see that on the thing there.
Yeah. Nick Cage is 2 years older than Walken was at the time.
Honestly, I'll say I didn't look at ages at all doing this.
There's no real thing. The only really badly cast age was Johnny Depp himself, because Ichabod Crane was 49 in the books.
Was he? I didn't look at the age for any single person in this.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was necessary.
I kind of just had a kind of a glance about it, just to keep. I didn't want fucking Ichabod Crane to be 57.
Yeah, of course.
When he was so young in the movie, just things like that. I didn't go too close to it. Well, actually, I went kind of close. 12 and 13, 41, 40. I actually went pretty close.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy was the biggest gap that I had.
Yeah. Now, what I will say here, don't just go picking King just to make it interesting for the final.
No, I am giving it to the King because Willem Dafoe was my second backup.
Yes.
But actually, technically, he was my third. Crispin Glover was my second. Ted picked Walter Goggins.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I was set on Crispin Glover until I seen some recent pictures of him, and I was like, maybe not.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking back to his role, remember in Charlie's Angel where he played the swordsman?
Yeah.
And I was like, that was 20 years ago or more. I was like, Jesus.
I have a feeling that we have the same person here, King.
So do I.
For Ichabod.
So do I.
I definitely think that's the same one as Greg. And anyway,
do you know something? The two of you kind of picked smaller actors. Do you notice that? Like Walken's a big guy.
Yeah.
Like if one of you
Mads is pretty big.
So is Dafoe, but like if one of you had went with sort of maybe a taller actor, you might have nicked that one away as well. Kind of way. I do like both of those though. I can see Willem Dafoe doing it better. Like when you look at Walken when he's in the forest, and his eyes and all are lit up, he has that Green Goblin effect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When the two girls snap the twigs,
he looks,
and his teeth are filed down, and it's fucking creepy as balls.
Fair enough.
We're going down to the wire. If this is a draw, Carl, you'll be kicking yourself.
Yes. I don't think we've ever had 3 draws in one episode, have we?
No.
First time for everything.
Be typical because we've drawn twice already. So
yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Right. So we're going down to the main man, Tim Burton's right hand man in acting, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh Johnny.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. 36 years of age. Looks about 20. Looks like a mopey cunt. Right. Let's go, King. Who you got?
I went with Adam Driver.
Okay. We don't have a draw anyway.
No, we don't.
Well, you don't have a draw with me anyway.
Oh no.
I think I might have the same person as you because you just said the age 41. And if
Yeah.
if
What?
did you not say your Ichabod was 41?
No, I said I didn't want to make him
Ah,
51.
okay. Right, okay, yeah. I went with someone who, Tim Burton wanted the gothic look. I wanted to, to go have basically that look, and this guy definitely has that look. I had Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh.
Yeah, he definitely has that look for it.
You could see Adam Driver doing it as well, though. Absolutely.
I'm generally surprised in you here, Sherlock, that you missed a beat here. I had Andrew Garfield.
Garfield's not bad. I suppose, but I think Hiddleston is a knockout pick for this. I really do. I think he knocks that out of the absolute park.
This is where I had Radcliffe as a backup.
Yeah.
I had him as a backup. I settled on Garfield. Ted had one where he said he didn't want to go major big names around, and he had Joel Keery here.
Okay.
Who obviously isn't as big a name.
No.
But he's certainly getting up there, but he won't ever be as big as Johnny Depp, I don't think.
No.
And Burton loved Johnny Depp from day one, I'd say.
Yeah.
In every way.
Much.
Yeah. Well, that's their own business. There's two good picks there, lads.
I just think with
one is severely better than the other, I think, though.
I think Hiddleston has the look completely for this. He really does, and the acting ability.
Absolutely. Well, the two good actors, though. To be fair,
they are. I love Adam Driver as an actor. I really do. But
he does some good quirky off comedy stuff as well. And there's elements of comedy, as you know, in this with Ichabod Crane. And I just like when I saw the cast, I was like, okay, yeah, I think he'd be perfect for it.
Tom Hiddleston does have a lot of comedic moments, especially in Loki.
I mean, they're both good shouts, to be honest.
Yeah.
So let the chips fall where they lie. That's what I say.
Can we call it a draw down the middle?
No.
No. If you were 4-3 up, would you have called it a draw? Absolutely. I'm going to go with it here, and I'm going to say, by God, King, the streak is over.
It's over.
Hiddleston's a better pick. Hiddleston's a better pick. I actually thought you wouldn't. I had money. I would have put money on it that you would have went Garfield.
Garfield's not a bad shout. I didn't think I honestly, Hiddleston was the first name I put down on anything here. I thought
I just left it.
I just left it.
Yeah. I didn't even think
Anya Taylor-Joy was the first name that I had.
Yeah, that came quickly afterwards.
There's just a look at Christina Ricci, a real pale.
Yeah,
it was a gothic look. That's why I tried to cast those two was this is Tim Burton. They're the two love leads. Let's go gothic.
Yeah. And you could actually picture Anya Taylor-Joy being Kristen Dunst's stepdaughter. Well, you don't even find that it's a stepdaughter until near the end, so you think daughter the whole way through.
True. Same as Lena Headey's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
I'm still the people's champion.
Take that background down.
I'm still the people's champion. That's staying up from now. They want it up here. They're getting it. It's staying from now.
The Kurt Hawkins streak
now,
is over.
You won't be back on for a couple of weeks.
Well, they'll be wanting me back. Don't worry.
Well, the streak is finally over, and you'll be back on another one after next week.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, since your 9-game winning run, no one's been able to hold on to the championship.
It's a hot potato right about now.
It is. We're hot potatoing around, going back to you next week.
What's that, your sixth run now?
6 or 7, yeah. But I mean, I did the most offenses I have is 2. So
Well, to be fair, for most of us, it was only for me and Ted. It was 3 for nearly over a year.
true. That was 2, and that was the first 2 wins.
Yeah. Winner. Well, it was actually 3, wasn't it? Because you had to win it.
Yes. Yeah.
And when no one could get to 4, it was mental.
Yeah. This is true.
But
this is true.
that was Sleepy Hollow. The streak is over.
Yes.
The king has the movie to pick.
Damn right I do.
I'm imagining with it the month that it's being, it should be in the horror realm,
You're damn right it is.
and it's coming from the king.
Okay.
You're gonna have fun with this one, boys. You are going to recast Shaun of the Dead.
Nope. Don't like it. Nope.
How
Well,
do you recast that duo?
that's up to you, boys. That's the champions.
He's only
advantage
saying
there.
that now because the cunt isn't on next week's episode.
I know, yeah, just because he doesn't have to do it.
Have fun with that one.
And I'm gonna have great fun going back to watch that.
Oh, I mean, I'll
Always a
watch it,
great
no
watch.
problem.
Always.
That's one of them ones. So certain people only watch horror films at Halloween. That's one you can watch all year round.
Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
Well,
Oh,
that
this
has
is gonna be rough.
that has been your episode for the week, folks. If you agree with it or you don't agree with it, let us know in the comments below. And don't mind that People's Champ. Look at him with his Raiders top on, the most hated team in the NFL, and he's calling himself the People's Champ. What are you trying to be, Hulk Hogan there?
The Rock.
Yeah. No, he's a Dolphins fan.
I know.
Right, we're gonna leave it there, folks.
Congrats. Well
What
done.
are you celebrating about? You won by default.
Default.
Right. We'll leave it there then. All the best.
Adios.
Woo.